Doesn't anybody see it's more than gun control? Doesn't anybody know? Doesn't anybody understand? Doesn't anybody watch the movies? Has anybody seen Matchsticks? How people cheat? Has anybody seen Nicolas Cage in any of his movies? The one where he sold the guns. Well, I knew somebody who was doing this and a whole lot more. Why? All in profit. Were any guns sold for the Sacred Heart of saving? When does gun control or gun go out of control, and who's controlling the guns? Who's getting rid of the extra guns? The millions and billions of dollars being sold every single year on guns. It's more than guns. It's the trillions and billions of dollars that are put into the army men, taught to go to war, to fight, to kill. They come home. They want to get out of the army? No. Now they're servicemen, and they have to serve. They have signed the contract, the clause of life, the Santa Claus, the death to all. That is what Santa Claus is half about. It's an indication. Santa Claus is okay, unless you put your claws on the army war. When you want to get out of war, the first thing they do is threaten you and send you to jail. I wrote this down in my first videos 2 years ago when this all started, but it actually started 8 years ago when I got the vision. I only woke up when I became bipolar, but that's not true. I only began to do something when I began bipolar, but I've been crying all my life. I have been scared of death all my life, not because of the death, because of the uncertainty of the totality of which we cannot know if they do not teach us. And they do not teach us because it's a scary subject of death. What's normality? I'm laughed at, criticized, shunned aside, all because of who I am to bipolar, but I'm a good heart. I'm a good person. And I'm here to serve in the public, for the public, so that the public becomes my friend. So they can write me a letter and ask me how come or why. But I won't have the answer, any answer, or all the answers. I will only have a story. The stories of life are dreams, visions, thoughts. What you write down and what you say, what you do and what you don't do, what you think of doing that you don't do. There's more than a rule. There's many blocks in life that stop things. You go to courts, a man stands in front of 16 judges. Yes, 16 judges. Every single person that's against him is now judging him. Just because there's one judge in the front. Oh, excuse me, sir. Yes. Hold up your left hand. Well, why the fuck should I hold up my left hand? Whose rule is this to hold up my left hand? I want to hold up my right hand. In fact, I don't want to hold up any of my hands. I want to put both my hands on top of my head and say, holy fuck, look what I walked into. I got a stupid speeding ticket. Now they want me to go to court. I told them I wasn't speeding, but what am I supposed to do? Hey, officer, can I take a look at your radar for how fast I was going? I'm sorry, sir. I didn't turn it on. So how fast was I doing? Well, you'll see it on the ticket when it comes back to you. I'll be back in a minute. Do you have your insurance? Is that the most important thing? Your insurance? The stupidest thing in the world. Insurance should be right on our license plate. They charge us an insurance, but yet they make us buy another insurance where we have to waste our time to call 100 different insurance companies to find out which one is going to screw us. To go down to a license bureau here in Quebec where I live, lately, in the last 10 years, it's been fantastic. It's fast and it's efficient. But are our policemen on the roads efficient? No. They're only fast in small streets. You can't drive fast in small streets. I've seen 2 accidents on 2 different corners in the last 5 years, and that's only what I saw. Cops driving behind you, punching in your license plate and pulling you over. because you're driving 90 kilometers an hour yesterday or 80. I was on the highway driving 60 kilometers. It was icy. So I drove the rest of the way on the side road. Thank God I came home on the 117, turned right on the 158. Those two numbers are the numbers of my ex-wife. Pretty funny the way I live on her corner. Pretty funny the way my parking is 111 and I live in building 13 of 00. 1303, 1403, 1413, 1414. My numbers of my apartment, my door, and my station, my parking, is a total of 1414. Look up Sesame Street, ABC 1414, DNA, or just the word AND, 4114. Everything seems to be with 4114, and it's the letter N and N. When they call mañana, the two N's together, or the one with the curly tail. Ronnie, two N's. What does that mean to me? It only gives me a little bit more confidence to see the numbers I understand come up in front of me, knowing and feeling that one of my destinations is to put on a yarmulke on top of my head and say, this is the cap of the roof. This is the cap of the rooster. Rooster Cogburn, John Wayne, J.W., 10 of creation. All these names, all these movies, all these gunfights and westerns, everything that has happened in North America and into Europe. But when it comes down to certain other places, it's no longer the same thing when it comes to TV. TV doesn't seem as manipulative, and it probably is. It's just that I'm not all over the place. Oh my God. There are spots on my floor. There's color all over my house. For some reason, when I fell into this realm, for me, it was all about colors, about the Indians, about the nations, about how we came to be. Everybody knows the way I think. I see, yes, there's a Middle Earth. There's a core in the Middle Earth. But it's a projected fire. It's caused. It's helped. The oil they pull out of the ground really doesn't make much difference. They're only going to dry us up. Slide us, move us on over. What are they doing when they take the oil? Now see, Mr. Tackpans is coming back. He's all over the place. And he's pissed. I'm pissed. And what will I do about it? Keep making videos, trying to find the right words that will wake up one person. But in my videos, by the year 2015, 2016, when I'll probably get 100 hits on the one I'm doing right now, well, that's about the time when things might start to straighten out, is the way they see it. But with this new planetary alignment that's going on right now, I am praying it turns us upside down. Why? It'll set off every single satellite. No satellites will work properly. And then again, the question is, if we are inside a bubble of another world that's 500, 600, 700 miles high, where the planes fly, inside the bubble, I'm going to get on to the people that don't know. A dice cube has 6 sides. You ain't living, 21. They need 3 dice cubes to make us up, and then again, there's the extension for the arms, and again for the legs. No. Stick your arms out, spread your legs. We're 3 cubes standing from the floor up. In between the cubes is the space. Less space for those who are taller and those who are shorter. Do you follow me? Stack the Rubik's Cube. No matter how you stack them, they come apart. There's a space, there's a place. I just woke up. I don't really think most of the time when I make these videos, unless I'm writing down numbers. 3, 6, and 9, 2, 5, and 8, 1, 4, and 7. If you think they're nothing, they're straight in a row on your phone. They all have a difference of the top and the lower number being black and red, odd and even, of 6, 6, and 6. All of them are 606. What's going to happen in this world? Well, this is such bullshit that you get a president in the United States, okay, Barry Soetoro, who 100,000 people have already said that's his name and this is where he comes from, yet he still gets elected as a president. A president of the United States. We should be voting online every 3 months and changing the president. There should be no El Presidente. You want an El Presidente? There's only one man I ever knew that can put things right in the center. My grandfather. He's the only man I knew, and I don't know many men, but I watched a lot of bullshit movies. And I see what my grandfather did, and I was young, but I saw what he set up in his small little empire. And let me tell you one thing. I went fishing with him. Never did he have a fisherman's story, but he always brought home the biggest fish anyways. You know why he always brought home the biggest fish? Because even if he caught one fish, everybody that went with him said they caught the biggest fish. So he knew right away he was bringing home the biggest story. I don't even know where to go with this. Made a little design yesterday of the universe. Can't even see it. See the C in the center? See this? It says sound, 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 all vibration. See the C in the center? There's an eye on each side. You take a look at those eyes, okay, the yellow and the red, there's 4 of them, okay, it's a double eye. That will create the wolf, the cat. Everything creates ears. You make 2 triangles next to each other, they're ears. Ears for us to hear. There's a satellite in the sky everywhere. They hear everything that goes on. I don't want to leave out anything. They listen to me. I've had at least, in the last 2 years, at least minimum 100 to 150 videos canceled. Some of them it pops up coded words, like I'm writing in codes. Sometimes I write on my computer, I didn't write certain things, and boom, shit comes out. Because in my life, I live with the ghosts. Somehow, even if I don't want to believe, I believe there's another world. Somehow, if I don't want to believe, I believe that Mars is alive. And it's more alive in the letter R and M than anything else. Mr. Martian. R, A-R-S, the letter count and number count inside the letter. Always and sometimes add or minus 1 or 5. Because 1 and 5 is everything. 1 to 4 will always come out to 9. But the total of 1 and 4 is 5. The A and E, arts and entertainment, 1 and 5 next to each other is O. O is the water of this world and takes us on our ride. It's the flow inside the mind. The radiator up here. Pa-pum, pa-pum. Your heart, stamping out the information. The verb of you thinking, the verb to your action of your thoughts is going to take you on your destiny. And if we don't learn to understand what sharing is all about, and money must be corrected. Money must go to jail. And anybody that holds on to dirty money. Does anybody understand what dirty money is? It's when you break your head to take what somebody else's. When you charge an interest to somebody only for profit instead of for helping to grow the society. That is all dirty money. Money is made to help to proceed forward. It is not supposed to be used as a gateway to torture and take over. Yes, it's important that we don't share all our secrets up to a certain fact. But if we did and we had no secrets, but we will always have secrets because we want the trademark. T&M, Martian. I don't know where to go with this, but back to bed, but I'm going to work. This is a baseball to most of you, but for me, this is a piece of linen. It was cut up. It was flat on a table. They put it together and made it round and confused people, telling us that the world is like this. The world is not like this. It takes a minimum of 3 baseballs to make this world. Why do I say that? Because the total of 1 baseball is 36. two ways. 36, 36, 72. Two baseballs is 144. But 1.5 baseballs, or 3 baseballs going one way standing up, is 108. 3 baseballs, 2 spaces between 110, the Twin Towers. The 3 of them end up to be 113. It's actually 1, 1, and 3, which is A until L, plus L and A equals M and L. Morning line favorites. Of course, also the height of the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers, do you know what, for me, made those Twin Towers come down? The antenna on the roof, stealing the information from everybody else. And in the game we play, from the galactic federations, from above and beyond, from in between and below, that's what it's all about. Information. Learning. We're in the Learning Technical Center. They call it the planet Earth. I call it .net. I say we're a piece of pie, a piece of land, a piece of earth, surrounded and covering this other element, held up in the sky, underneath and below Neptune and Jupiter, stretched out with wires of matrix, wireless that most of you don't see, but there's more into this game. It's only we don't see it because our eyes can't function in the realm of their reality. If you think we're straight, we're not straight as a nation, and we're not straight as a world. We're on an angle. How can I know any of this? Start dreaming, my friends. Start dreaming. You can call me any name you want in the book, but you know what? I'm proud of who I am, what I stand for, and what I do for my family. And that's all that counts. But I just don't do it for my family. I'm right here, Mr. Tackbands, with 1,500, maybe another 300-400 missing and somewhere else, maybe 1,800, 2,000 videos. But it's all about association and correction. And we will correct this world, and it will get corrected. Whether I'll be around at that time or not, whether I'll be knocked off before, that will make the difference. It'll make no difference to anything at all, because at the end, regardless, it will be okay. A cousin of mine said, Adonai. To deny, to add, and to be born. Add and nay. N-A-I is born. N is the cross that we carry on our back. A and I is the spirit of our birth. A and I, first and ninth letter equals 10. With the N equals 14. 24 is the hours of the day, in which, like I said before, we're only living 16 hours. The second clock is something wrong. There's something wrong with seconds. There's something wrong with number 2. And I'd just like to say a thank you to Rodin and his buddies out there who are showing the light of the truth in other manners. Has nothing to do really with me, but I see his numbers and I believe his numbers because they work out in my work also. And what work do I have? I have no diplomas. Barely passed high school. Had to go back 3 times for English because I didn't speak properly. For me, when I saw the poor soul, I thought of the sun. I thought of the bottom of my foot, and I also thought of the earth. When the word soul, okay, I have no idea what it is. I basically have a general idea, but for me, it's all at the bottom of your heart. Raphael 7286, inside a cheese bag, holding gallons and gallons of water, supporting and electrifying my life. Imagine all your life, you don't drink any gasoline, yet you could walk, talk, and move. You really think we need gasoline? You don't think there's any electric fire in our heart? You don't think the salt does anything at all and it's just there? Salt, 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 all our life. The alternator, spirit angel of salt, light, life. Follow those words. 3 people in the last month now have fallen in front of me. Normart Lee, NAL, the 3 people. Only one of them has really spoken to me. But these 3 people have enlightened me only because I know now that the track I am on is on the right track, because everybody is jumping out to say the same thing. Let's save. Time to figure it out. But we don't have armies. But hold on a second. Armies don't exist. There are no armies if the army men step down. Don't worry about the jail, because once 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million army men step down, the jails are full. Step down, they have the guns, they have the tanks. All the armies have is one man saying, do this. But if the army turns around, they take over the world. I think that's what we should be watching for. You don't think so? Like if I was in the army, but I'm not, so I can't see it. But if the army people come together, oh my God, oh, a dream from 40 years ago just came back to my head. And I see it perfectly. I put my hand on his baseball, and the baseball is shimmering inside my hand. This happened 40 years ago to me. This is what I saw 40 years ago. Waking up in the middle of the night as a 9-year-old child, seeing the future of 60 years later. It's coming, my friends. We are the future. For every second that goes on by, for every thought, for every time you speed on the highway, it's not that everything is going to go perfect after. But the realm inside the reality of reality, is it, can I say that? Hey, Mr. Penguin on the wall, I know you're not talking, but just because of my reflection, you're freezing your ass off up there. I know you're freezing your ass. There's a reason for you freezing your ass, right? Okay. Yeah, I talk to penguins. I talk to pictures. I talk to school buses. Things that aren't alive and don't move are all reflections within inside your own mind. So whatever you say to somebody else that might not be there, it's all more of a reflection so that you can understand your own thinking. So it's not so bad if you talk to yourself. Do you think the child with autism, what do you think he's doing? What do you think he's thinking? Raphael 7286, in the constellation of Pegasus and the heart of all man. I don't have to pray. We just have to get it done the right way. Thank you.